What's going on, my fellow farmer brothers and sisters? Alright, so took a little pause from the 450s just for today. Brought something home. Let's spin this around and show you. So the price was right. Couldn't really beat it, honestly. Let's just say pretty close to free. Can't argue. So a guy ended up having, I'll walk around down here first and show you, a 1939 Farmall H. It's got a very early serial number too, and it's got a really unique cutout underneath the seat in the back, which we believe to be unique for the very early H's. It's actually kind of cool. There's two brackets actually on the front axle, on the front sides of the axles. I'm not really sure if they're homemade or if they had something mounted to them. Be curious if any of you guys know what that would be. But it came with weights and everything. But it's actually not in bad shape. It actually is a pretty clean tractor, and it runs right off the bat. Was converted to 12 volt, and it did have the alternator on it. It's kind of a fat alternator. Luckily, nobody cut the hood, so that's awesome. But the hood is actually pushed out. It's just not clamped. So I'm going to end up pulling that off, changing the brackets, sucking that alternator back, and putting one of those little smaller, those little 10As on there. But let me spin this around. I'll show you what I brought home. And I'm not going to fire it up yet. I'm going to fire it up when I pull it off the tractor. It's been a long morning. When I pull it off the trailer, I'll fire it up and let you guys hear it run. But it actually doesn't run too bad. So, again, it's got its little odds and ends to take care of, but it's an 86-year-old tractor. And you can drive it on the trailer. Can't really argue. Yeah, let's spin this around. So here she is, and it doesn't have the steels on. Now, I'm not sure if these were ever switched out in the future. I mean, in its future, if they were switched out. Or if this particular one is how it came. But the guy started sanding off the paint at one point. He was going to go ahead and start restoring it, so that's why all the paint is off right there. But he just never got around to finishing it up. You know, life takes over, had a newborn, stuff like that. So, couldn't really finish it. But all in all, I mean, she's complete, and she's got everything there, except for the lights. You know, I got to put those on, no big deal. The only thing I did see, it's like an ugh moment. At one point in this thing's life, somebody welded the steering wheel onto the shaft. So, obviously, needless to say, when it comes to replacing that, I got to cut that shaft off and replace the whole shaft, which is a shame. But here's a cutout. It's under the seat on the top plate, which I thought was kind of cool, actually, to be notched out like that. Now, I'm not sure if they did that particularly because of these seats from the day. This setup, this is the first time having a tractor with this style setup. Again, kind of neat, kind of unique. These are the plates in question. Obviously, they were lopped off here and here, which makes me wonder if these were homemade. Be curious though what they were made for. I'll take you around the front and I'll show you. Has a little overrun clutch on it. No PTO shield, no big deal. One of the original stickers. It's kind of a shame that some of it's been sanded because that was like a Survivor sticker. But it's on the side too. Like I said, it's a good possibility that that was something that was just cut in half and welded on for whatever was being pulled behind at the time. But let's go around this side without falling off the trailer, because the axles, the tires are pushed way out on the axles. There's the VIN number, and as you see, very early. So she's definitely a 39. Got to rebuild the carburetor. A lot of Permatex and stuff in there. It starts up, it does run and all, but you can see where it's dripping. Gas bowl is off, but she's still dripping. So I know the governor, he said, was changed out at one time. But it's just got a few things here and there really to fix it. I'm going to replace the battery box, little odds and ends. But I'm thinking I could probably go ahead and give us a quick once over, see how everything looks and works on it. I know I might have to do the brakes on it. I think he said one side's a little sketchy. Fix the spring on the throttle. Again, just a few things. Obviously, the seat pan, unfortunately, is toast. I think it's kind of cool that it's actually got the push button for the foot, which is kind of neat. Instead of being up here to push like my 43, it's down here at the foot. So kind of cool. And I'm guessing on this particular one, to activate the belt pulley, you just grab the actual arm and pull it. There was no rods, levers, anything for these. So pretty neat. You know, obviously got a little bit of this to fix and push in and all, and wasn't a bad deal. Like I said, nice little tractor. It's kind of neat actually being a 39, and like I said, being an early 39, which from the VIN number looks like it was like probably some of the first run of the H's, which is cool because they came up from the F20s, and that's where the H kind of derived from. So but you can see where the hood's just pushed out. Like I said, luckily it was never cut and split or removed, so I'm thankful for that. And obviously plugs, wires, you know, all that good stuff. I'll go through all that, change the oil. I may go ahead and either make my wiring or just go ahead and get one from Burlman, because this tractor is so simple. You know, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do yet. Not a bad deal though. So that's pretty much it for this video. It was just showing you what I picked up, what I brought home today. And so then we're gonna go ahead and play with it a little bit, but I really can't get started on this thing until I get the sheet metal done for that diesel. I gotta finish that up. But I think it's nice with the shifter plate and everything, having the gear selector on there. And it looks like it had a sticker here, original as well. Yeah, it's a shame that some of the stuff didn't survive as far as the original decals and all. That would have been kind of cool to see all the original decals through here. So it's just funny, you know, when you stand here and look at the H and look at the frame, the engine, the hood, it's like, wow, this thing is definitely not as big as the 450s. It's amazing how much bigger they are. Speak of 450, the very next video after this video, it's going to be the debut video of that 450 gasser. Let's just say the editing has taken a little longer than I expected. I was trying to get it done a little quicker, but work has taken over. I've had a lot of stuff around here to do, so I haven't had time to really finish up, but it's kind of like a little montage video. It's going to be kind of cool. So that's the plan, is to get that video edited. I might work on it this evening, actually. And hopefully by the time you guys are all seeing this video, it'll be close to the video coming out. So, anyway, so that's it. Just another good day when you bring home a Farmall. You can never complain. I just think it's neat. The tractor's an 86-year-old tractor and starts up and runs and drives on the trailer, and actually runs fairly decent. It actually sounds pretty good. So, pretty cool. I don't know about the straight pipe. They don't sound bad, but I think I'm sticking a muffler back on her. So, and the tires actually aren't awful. I didn't even look to see what they were. I am not seeing any name. I don't know. Not really sure exactly what tires they are. But for now, they're doable. They got grip. They work. So my plan for this tractor here, I was going to go ahead and dump that 33A front loader, because I really didn't need a trip bucket loader. But then I started kicking around the idea. I'm like, why should I sell it? Why should I get rid of it? Because those 33A loaders was part of these tractors' histories again. Those loaders came out, went on these tractors. So I decided I'm going to keep that trip bucket loader. And I think eventually, once all these other little projects are done, when I do jump on the H, I think I'm going to actually restore that trip bucket loader back to its former glory. Get all the rods straightened out, get all the welds fixed, get all the little areas done, and put it on, hopefully, this H right here after it's all restored. I just think the idea of having like an original trip bucket loader all restored on one of these, I think it'd be kind of cool, actually. Not practical. Just like Gino said, Farmall fanatic, trip bucket loader is only a step above a pitchfork. So can't argue with that logic. You know, he's dead on. So, but you know what? It's not really for me at this point to use it. It's just to have it. So if you go to a show, got one with a bucket on it, that's original. Once I get that 300 utility done with the Henry loader and the backhoe, again, I can go to a show, show off that 300 utility with the backhoe and the loader restored. I'm really looking forward to actually using that backhoe on that thing. But anyway, so that's it. So anyway, if you guys like the video, hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. And keep your eye out for that 450 video. You're not going to want to miss it. That girl came out gorgeous. So thanks for watching.